For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingeman. Nice to have you along in the middle part of April. Coming up on spring, we're going to have gorgeous flowers because of all the continuous rain that we've had for a week or so now. There's a terrible problem going on in St. Clair County and across the nation, and it's opioid addiction. We are so fortunate to have a movie that is coming out that the whole student body of St. Clair County is going to see this coming fall, and it is entitled My Secret Is My Story. We are honored to have the producer, Sue Rakowski, with us today. Welcome back to the Focus set.
Yeah, and I'm actually a co-producer with Chris Troy. I'd like to give him a shout out as well.
Okay. And Chris, you get the co-producer credit too.
Yes.
Do you each have little hats?
We have a hat, yes, for sure.
Talk to me about this wonderful, and Van will shoot to give us a tight shot of the video here. What is this all about?
So, as you said, there's a terrible crisis around the country, starting with opioid abuse, and unfortunately a lot of folks start with opioids and maybe end up on heroin or cocaine or something even worse. But I met a woman who worked for the Department of Health and Human Services, and they were having folks come into their meeting and tell their stories of addiction and recovery. And I was fascinated, and I just finally was like, this is a documentary, this is a story. Because each person has a very different story. The actual finished documentary is 111 minutes and features 5 different people's stories from right with their opioid tragedy to their recovery.
Are they local people?
4 out of 5 are.
4 out of 5 are?
4 out of 5. 3 are from Port Huron. 1 is originally from Imlay City, lives in Port Huron now. And another woman that we included, because it was a fascinating story, was Amy Buchanan from Troy, Michigan, because she was in the news last fall. I saw her story on WDIV that she had been arrested. She was a principal of Troy Middle School, and she was arrested for breaking into a student's home.
I remember that story.
Yes, it was all over the news. And I just said, boy, I know what's going on with this. I bet anything. So we reached out to her, and her story is quite fascinating, and it's a very fresh story in the news right now. And I think kids will say, wow, this could happen to my principal or my teacher? No way.
Right.
So
you got some support from McLaren Port Huron. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, McLaren Port Huron gave us a generous grant, which allowed us to do some marketing of the materials. There's a big banner right now on Michigan Mutual. They also, there's posters around town, and then we're also on April 26th at 1 o'clock having a private showing where we've rented 5 different theaters for people from community agencies, law enforcement, to come and watch the documentary, followed by a panel discussion up in the dinner house with the folks in the documentary. That'll be
the stars will be in
the stars will be in it, and people can ask them questions. And my thing with the reception, why I think it's so important, is to encourage discussion. That this isn't a Detroit problem. This is a Port Huron. This is a national problem.
Okay, we have the trailer. Let's run the trailer, and then we'll talk some more about the event and when people will be able to watch this. Let's take a look at the trailer now.
I had a buffet of prescription medications: Adderall, Xanax, Norcos, Ambien, Valium.
So I was on large doses of opiates for about a year and then had back surgery. And then from that point on, I was given 120 pills a month for another year.
So I drank the tea not knowing. They were like, oh yeah, by the way, this is actually meth that you're on.
What's so good about this drug? I couldn't understand it, so I had to see for myself.
My Secret Is My Story. Going to be premiered on the 26th of April at 1 o'clock for a private showing. When will the public be able to?
The public showings are April 26th at 7 o'clock, so that Friday night. Saturday the 27th at 7 and 9 p.m. and Sunday the 28th at 4 and 7. And tickets are on sale right now at sperrysmoviehouse.com.
Okay, how much are tickets?
I think they're $9.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad, and RISA is not making any money from this, I should say. Two organizations will benefit, Blue Water Outreach and Recovery Center and another.
We've had him on. He's
Yes.
quite a really interesting guy.
And Patrick Patterson, who
Right.
runs BW Rock, is actually a person in recovery whose story we told as well.
Okay.
The other organization is called Difference Makers, and Z, as he likes to go by, Ziad Elisal, he will be, his organization's Difference Makers will be generously, given this money as well. And he is also a person in recovery in this video.
Okay. We salute you for this effort. I mean, it's a worldwide problem, and you hear about it every day. There was another doctor arrested or sent to jail today, I think, for 11 years, and he made $2 million or $5 million or something. It's just a staggering story.
It is staggering, and interestingly, Sheriff Donnellan is also in the video, and he will tell you that the jails right now, 80 to 90% of the folks in there are in there for drug-related crime. I mean, it may say larceny, it may say breaking and entering, but they're really drug addicts.
Yeah, yeah. And they're trying to feed their habit.
And they will tell you that the folks in my doc, our doc, will tell you they will do anything.
Yeah.
They will steal your mother's jewelry. They will do whatever because
Well,
they're
unfortunately, my mother had no jewelry.
Well, because when they're in the throes of this addiction,
You're right, it's true.
Yeah, they'll do anything.
Oh, there's Patrick Patterson. Yeah, he was here. Well, it's just it's something that's needed. Now, talk to me about what's going to happen in the fall.
Okay, so over the summer, I'm working with several folks from the health department, folks from local schools, and we're developing a curriculum guide to go along with the release of the documentary. Because it's 111 minutes, and kids' attention, or any of us attention, is only so long, we'll break it into 2 pieces. And it'll come with a curriculum guide because the folks in the doc, they also face many other issues besides just addiction. One woman was gang raped. There's some molestation, there's homelessness. So there's a lot of issues, not just the addiction.
So they'll break it into what, 2 classes then?
Two segments. I'm hoping they'll show it, like, say, half on a Monday and the next half on a Tuesday. It's kind of still to be determined, but the interest is certainly there. Even outside of St. Clair County, I just had a call today from Imlay City Schools.
Oh, good.
And they want to show it in their curriculum. Of course, Patrick is from Imlay City, Patrick Patterson. And he was a well-known, well-liked football player, good student, went on to have a business degree. And yet at the age of, I think he was in his mid-30s, just started using opioids for recreational purposes and unfortunately progressed to heroin and whatnot and ended up homeless on the streets of Flint.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, it's called My Secret Is My Story, and you have an invitation to go to Sperry's Movie House coming up the end of the month, April the 26th and 27th. You can see it there, and we'll have other announcements about its viewing as the months go along. But wow, just a great effort.
Well, thank you. I've only shared it with a few people, and they've used words like powerful, impactful, shocking, all of the above. So I think it's definitely worth seeing, I would hope.
Great. You always do great stuff.
Oh,
the
thank you.
Supervisor of Digital Media at RISA.
Yes, thank you, Paul.
St. Clair County, always a pleasure. We've known each other for quite a few years. We've got another smiling face involved in St. Clair County, and that is Sheri Faust. She'll be along in just a sec. Well, this time of year brings some great things. One of those is Earth Fair, and it's Earth Fair 2019. Sheri Faust.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Welcome
Nice
back
to
to
see
Focus
you.
Set. And Earth Fair is 16 years old, did I just read?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You were just in grade school when you first started.
That's right. And now my kids are in grade school, and what's great is now they're taking over Earth Fair, which is what it's all about.
Isn't that
is
wonderful?
Teaching the next generation about these earth-friendly messages that Earth Fair is all about.
I've been on Space Cadet program for 16 years. What is Earth Fair? I don't know a thing about it. Tell me that.
Earth Fair is, we embody what Earth Day is all about.
Okay.
So Earth Day was started back in 1971, and we created Earth Fair 16 years ago for St. Clair County. It's a 2-day festival that happens at Goodles County Park.
Great park.
Yes, April 26th and April 27th. And we are a low waste event, a smoke-free event, a low emission event. We have dozens of exhibitors, demonstrations, workshops, artists that blend all these messages together about how to be a better environmental steward and citizen.
It's family friendly, obviously.
It's free
Yeah.
and family friendly, so you can come out any of the 2 days. Parking, admission, activities are all free. It takes a lot of work. There's a big group that puts this together, and it's put on by the St. Clair County Environmental Education Network. We sponsor Earth Fair, and all of our sponsors that are partners on the event are what makes the event free.
You brought along some pictures, and if Lizzie Ling will throw those pictures up, we'll talk about them and go through them individually.
Okay.
What have you got there, Lizzie? Okay, that's the flyer. 16
Yeah,
years.
and
of
that flyer highlights our achievements that we've done, from our amount of trash we've recycled, the amount of students we've brought in on free field trips, the amount of trees that we were able to plant. So it just encompasses all of the accomplishments of Earth Fair.
Okay, next one, Lizzie. Okay. Oh, those look like fun.
Fun Earth Fair swag
Oh
to
my!
purchase.
You gotta have swag.
Yeah, so you can purchase some fun Earth Fair merchandise while we're there. A
Now that's
snapshot
Goodall's.
of-
That's the park.
This is where Earth Fair takes place. And Friday of Earth Fair, April 26th, we bring out 1,200 students on a free field trip. So they are also getting
From all over the
messages
county.
all over the county, a free field trip for students.
Okay, next. What do we got here? Those are trees, right?
Those are trees. The Conservation District is there selling trees and flowers and shrubs, and that's just a great Earth Day activity. So
Do
if
I-
nothing else, come out and purchase a tree and plant a tree for Earth Day.
Do I have to order my tree ahead of time?
You do not.
How much are trees, round figure? a
$5,
dollar
$10, yeah.
Oh, okay, so they're not $100 or $500.
No, they're small.
Okay, and
small.
this shot is.
This shows some of our exhibitors that are inside. So we have over 60 exhibitors, and we are really careful about who we select to be at Earth Fair. They are handpicked. They must have an environmental service or product or message that addresses an Earth Day topic. So
Give me
this
an
is not
example.
this is not a trade show. It's not a vendor show. It's a combination of for-profits selling healthy, environmental, organic, green products.
Give me an example of one of those.
We have garden places, we have animal farms that sell
Okay.
products from their animals, a whole host of nonprofits out there with educational messages, government agencies that help with recycling and healthy lifestyle choices.
Okay.
So it's,
all right.
it's a whole mix. A couple years ago, we started the Green Guardian Award program, where we select businesses, individuals, schools that are environmental heroes. They make Earth Day every day, and then we announce our winners at Earth Fair on
Oh, that's
Saturday
cool.
the 27th.
That's cool.
So
What
we
a
have
nice honor.
five winners that will be selected with the Green Guardian Award.
Wonderful. That's a great honor. Okay.
That's an
and
example. And then Earth Fair was given an honor by the state of Michigan as one of the best recycling education events in the state of Michigan.
when did you get that award?
We got that 2 years ago because we compost and recycle all of our waste. We are really strict about that. We want to do what we talk about,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
not walk the walk, but
Talk the talk.
But yes.
Oh, there you go.
So there's something for everyone at Earth Fair, whether you have a little child that just wants to touch a cute animal, pet
Right.
an animal, all the way up to really in-depth.
Those are llamas, aren't they?
Those are alpacas.
Alpacas.
Yeah.
I thought the one in the back.
And that farm sells products they hand make from their alpacas.
Okay.
And just a little sampling of what you can see when you walk in the front door of Earth Fair. You'll be greeted with friendly faces and given a program guide of all the activities for the day.
So those are this is one of those huge, great big barns they've got out at Goodall's Fair, or
Yes.
Goodall's County
We
Park.
we are in the exhibit barns.
So
We
if
actually use
there's
about,
inclement weather, you're still okay.
yes,
Okay.
indoors and outdoors.
All right, and the next we've got a boat. And how are you going to get a boat out to Goodall's?
Right, so now we're switching gears to June, and our annual Sturgeon Festival is Saturday, June 1st this year. And you can buy a ticket for a Huron Lady sturgeon cruise and watch sturgeon swimming in the St. Clair River. It's a very unique, exclusive opportunity.
I heard the other day there's 60,000, something like that, sturgeon in the St. Clair River.
About 20,000
Oh,
resident
20,000.
sturgeon that return. They return to the area they spawn every year. So they return to the Blue Water Bridges every year to spawn around June 1st, which is why we hold the Sturgeon Festival that time of year. This year it's Saturday, June 1st at the
There's one right there.
Fort Gratiot Light Station, and we have a huge sturgeon touch tank, giving people the opportunity to see and touch a sturgeon up close.
What do they touch? What do they feel like?
Sandpaper.
Sandpaper?
Mm-hmm. They're rough.
Okay. And did I read from one of your press releases that you're taking every 5th grader or 6th grader of St. Clair County out on the Huron Lady? How is that going to happen?
5th graders, we have 600 5th graders. No, excuse me, 800 5th graders that are going out on 2 days of free science sturgeon cruise.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a great thing.
So we're really
and as
focused
your
on
article
education.
said, some kids have never been on a boat,
Right.
never seen the St. Clair River.
That's right.
And let alone a sturgeon.
That's why we started this program for
Great.
5th graders, because if we want them in turn to be caretakers of the water
Yeah.
and the environment, we have to get them on the water, to
Right.
experience it, to appreciate it, to
Yeah.
know how valuable it
Who's
is.
paying for that?
That's through Friends of the St. Clair River sponsors that event, and we have a lot of partners and sponsors that give that opportunity free for 5th graders.
Oh, I mean, because it's costing the Huron Lady some money to do that, so.
Yep, 2 solid days of running cruises nonstop for 5th graders.
Wow.
Where they get to interact with fisheries biologists on board, so they get to hear about real life science data
Yep.
that's being collected on sturgeon and fisheries in the river. And then they actually get to see sturgeon being tagged for monitoring. And so it's a very interactive, hands-on day where they're really meeting real scientists doing real life work.
Great. And of course, that one is rain or shine too,
Yes,
because they'll be aboard the boat.
right.
So they don't worry
We've
about
always
rain.
had good weather, Paul.
Yeah. Well, that comes with you, with your smile. Brings good weather.
Gotta have those. So those, yeah, 2 events.
So the Earth Fair is the 26th and 27th
Right, at Goodles County
at
Park.
Little's Community Park, and it's absolutely free.
Absolutely free.
Whole family, great stuff. The sturgeon for the
Festival.
public to be aboard, they've got to get the reservation in pretty quick.
So there's 2 parts of the Sturgeon Festival on the June 1st. The public festival is free at Fort Gratiot Light Station Park. So that's the Sturgeon Touch Tank and activities, and for children, that's all free. If you want to take the Sturgeon Cruise,
Yep.
that's a $25 ticket,
Oh, that's not bad.
and you buy that at the Huron Lady website.
Oh, okay. I mean, the cruise itself is just a nice thing to be out on the water. So.
And that's narrated by fisheries biologists, and that's where you get to see the sturgeon swimming in the river.
Right. Sure, you do great work.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to
Yeah.
see you do. Her name is Sheri Faust. She's with the St. Clair County Health Department. She's with the Friends of the St. Clair River. You're president of that.
Yes,
And,
and with St. Clair County Health
you're a
Department.
mom in the health department and just
Yeah.
a busy, busy person. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.